Hey, what's up everybody? Molten Mage here, and this is my Shadowlands mount guide. For every mount in this video, I have provided coordinates of each of their locations and timestamps of each specific mount in the video description down below. The first mount of this video is the Silky Shimmermoth. To get this mount, you must complete the achievement, Ardenwield the Stage. To complete this achievement, you need someone from the Night Fae Covenant to activate their anima conductor to the Dream Song Fin. Once they activate the anima conductor, head over to the Star Lake Amphitheater and have the Night Fae player speak to Dapperdew. When they speak to Dapperdew, they will summon one of the 7 rares on the achievement. You get only 1 rare per day, and it is on a random rotation. When you kill all 7 rares, you then will complete the achievement and be able to purchase the mount for 5,000 anima from Master Clerk Solorn, located here at the Amphitheater. All players from any covenant can ride this mount. Next is the Wildseed Cradle. To get this mount, you first need to get Twinkle Star's 5 missing tools. The first tool is the Diary of the Night, and is on an elevated platform on the tree, sitting on a table at this location here in Ardenweald. The second tool is the Gardener's Hammer, and is inside the cart at this location here. The third tool is the Gardener's Basket, and is just by the fountain's edge on the ground at this location here. The fourth tool is the Gardener's Flute, and is on the ground at this location here. The fifth tool is the Gardener's Wand, and is under the cart at this location here. Once you gather all 5 tools, you can now combine it to create Twinkle Star's Gardening Toolkit. When you have that toolkit, you'll need to go here and speak to Twinkle Star to gain the Moon Sight buff. Once you have the buff, you will now see the cache of the Moon Treasure behind Twinkle Star, and inside the cache of the Moon will be the Wildseed Cradle. Next is the Duskflutter Ardenmoth and Amber Ardenmoth. To get these mounts, you must become exalted with the Wild Hunt faction in Ardenweald. To gain reputation with them, you can do the world quests in Ardenweald Zone, get the calling and challenge quests from your Covenant's hub that have quests in Ardenweald. You can do the side quests in the zone, or complete the weekly quests in Oribos and pick the Wild Hunt's rep as a quest reward. Once exalted, you can speak to Lyowen, located here in Oribos, to purchase the Duskflutter Ardenmoth. And for the Amber Ardenmoth, you must earn Wild Hunt supplies from the Paragon Reputation, which means you will have to earn 10,000 post-exalted reputation with them. When you get the Wild Hunt supplies, they will have a small chance to drop the Amber Ardenmoth. Next is the Shimmermist Runner. To get this mount, you first will need to enter the maze at this location here in Ardenweald. To make it through the maze, you will need to follow the gateways that have the blue lamps. I am now going to show you the exact route you will need to take. I have also provided directions in the description of which way to go. Once you correctly go through the maze, you will need to kill Shizgur. When he is dead, you can click on the Shimmermist Runner NPC, and then the mount will be in your bags. Next is the Swift Gloomhoof. The first step in getting this mount is by looting the Broken Soul Web. You can find the Broken Soul Web at this location here in Ardenweald. This location is tricky to get to, so I recommend taking a Goblin Glider from the top of the hill here and gliding your way onto it. The second step is repairing the soul web by talking to Elder Gwenna, located here, and you will need 10 lightless silk to repair it. You will also need to complete the prerequisite quest called Outplayed to repair the soul web. The third step is going to the heart of the forest and speaking to Ysera, located here. If you are not part of the Night Fae Covenant, you could speak to Ysera by talking to one of the guards outside, and then they will bring out Ysera to talk to you. After you talk to Ysera, you will obtain the Dreamcatcher. When you have the Dreamcatcher, you need to go to this location here and use the Dreamcatcher to gain the buff called the Shadow's Dream, which will transport you to a shadowy phase of the area without any mob present. In this shadowy phase, the rare Nightmare will be patrolling around the area. Kill Nightmare, and then you'll be able to loot the Swift Gloomhoof. Next is the Spinemaw Gladechewer. To get this mount, you first will need to go to this area in Ardenweald. Once there, you'll need to kill the deranged guardians in this area. Killing them will allow you to attack the bristlecone terrors. Killing these mobs will give you a small chance to spawn the rare called Chompy. After you kill Chompy, the Gorm Tamer Tizzo will come to fight you. Kill him, and once he is killed, he will drop the Spinemaw Gladechewer. Next is the Arboreal Gulper. To get this mount, you first will need to farm for the unusually large mushroom. They can drop from any mob in Ardenweald and have about a 1 to 5% chance to drop. Once you have the mushroom, go to this location here in Ardenweald and put the mushroom into the damp loam. Then the mushroom will grow and the rare mob called Hamon Gaz will come out. Kill him and then he will drop them out. Next is the Umbral Scythehorn. You can get this mount by purchasing it from Spindlenose located here in Ardenweald. To be able to purchase this mount, you need to be revered with the Court of the Night, spend 5,000 anima, and 5 grateful offerings. Next are the Darkborn Hardshell, Chittering Animite, Warstitch Darkhound, and Highwind Darkmane. These mounts are all obtainable through the adventure tables in your Covenant's hub, and I can't officially confirm this, however I've read that a lot of people started having the mount missions appear once their followers started to get it into level 30, and then completing missions that had adventure campaign progress next to them to increase the chances of mount missions appearing. To help you with your followers' mission success, I would highly recommend downloading the add-ons Venture Plan and Covenant Mission Success to help you pick which followers you should use for each mission so that they will have the best chance of completing them successfully. Next is the Court Sinrunner. To get this mount, you must become exalted with the Court of the Harvesters faction in Revendreth. To gain reputation with them, you can do the world quests in the Revendreth zone, get the calling and challenge quests from your Covenant's hub that have quests in Revendreth, you can do the side quests in the zone, or complete the weekly quest in Oribos and pick the Court of the Harvesters rep as a quest reward. Once exalted, you could speak to Darvel the Frugal located here in Oribos to purchase the mount. Next is the Loyal Gorger. To get this mount, you first will need to farm for the Enticing Anima. The Enticing Anima is dropped by Devourers, and the best place to find Devourers is in this area of Revendreth. Once you have the Enticing Anima, you will need to go to this location here in Revendreth and use it on the World Edge Brazers. This will summon the World Edge Gorger. You can kill this rare only once per day. He will have a small chance to drop the Impressionable Gorger spawn. When you get the Impressionable Gorger spawn, it will get you started on a 7-day daily quest chain. To pick up the quest for the daily quest chain, you will have to be in this area of Revendreth. After you complete the quest chain, you will be rewarded with the Loyal Gorger. Next is Sinrunner Blanchy. To get this mount, it will require that you give 6 items to Dead Blanchy on 6 different days. Dead Blanchy is located here in Revendreth and has approximately a respawn timer of 1 to 2 hours. On the first day, you will need to get 8 handful of oats. You can get these oats in the northern part of Westfall, and it requires you to be level 56 to pick them up. You can also purchase them on the auction house. On the second day, you will need to get the Grooming Brush. You can get this brush by speaking to Snickersnee in Darkhaven located here in Revendreth. On the third day, you will need to get 4 Sturdy Horseshoes, which you can find in these locations in Revendreth. On the fourth day, you will need to get a bucket of clean water. You can get the bucket from this location here in Revendreth, and you can get the water for the bucket in this location here in Ardenweald. On the 5th day, you'll need to get a comfortable saddle blanket from Taru, located here in Revendreth. He will sell the blanket to you from a variety of resources such as Shadowlands meats, ores, or herbs, and he rotates what he will sell it for on a weekly basis. On the 6th day, you'll need to get 3 Dread Hollow apples from Mims at this location here in Revendreth. When you give Dead Blanchy the item on the 6th day, you will then be rewarded with the mount. Next is the Endmire Flyer. This mount has a very low chance to drop from the rare Famu the Infinite. To summon him, you will need to speak to Seeker Hilda located here in Revendreth. You can only loot him once per day, and he has approximately a 30-minute spawn timer. You will need a group to kill this rare. Next is the Silverwind Larion. To get this mount, you first will need to craft the Crystal Mallet of Heralds. You can craft this mallet by first getting all 50 Anima Crystal Shards, which are scattered throughout Bastion. I have provided a link in the description to a video of all specific locations of all 50 shards. You must be level 60 to see the shards, and all the shards have a respawn timer. Once you have all 50 Anima Crystal Shards, you need to speak to Forge Light Hepatus, located here in Bastion, to craft the mallet. Once you have the mallet, head to this location here in Bastion and ring the Vesper of the Silver Wind. After you ring the Vesper, you will obtain the mount. Next is the Gilded Prowler. To get this mount, you must become exalted with the Ascended faction in Bastion. To gain reputation with them, you can do the world quest in the Bastion zone, get the calling and challenge quests from your Covenant's hub that have quests in Bastion, you can do the side quests in the zone, or complete the weekly quest in Oribos and pick the Ascended rep as a quest reward. Once exalted, you can speak to Adjutant Nikos located here in Oribos to purchase the mount. Next is the Sundancer. To get this mount, you first will need to get the Sunrider's Blessing. You can get this blessing by going to this location here in Bastion and clicking on the statue to get the buff. You then will need to get the Skystrider Glider. You can get this by being part of the Kyrian Covenant and having Ascended Crafting, or by purchasing it through the auction house. Once you have the buff and the glider, you will have to wait for the Sundancer to spawn. He spawns near where you get the Sunrider's Blessing and flies on the outer area of the zone. He has approximately a 45-minute to 1 hour respawn timer. When Sundancer spawns, you will need to use the glider to interact with the Sundancer, and you will jump on his back. As soon as you are on his back, make sure to spam the soothe button. The Sundancer will then carry you to the area near where you got the Sunrider's Blessing. Once he drops you off there, you will need to speak to him to challenge him to a fight. I would recommend being in a group for this fight. After you defeat him, the person with the buff and glider will have a high chance to get the mount. The other members in the group will also have a chance at the mount. Next is the Ascended Skymane. The first step to getting this mount is being in a group and wait for the 5 Vespers to spawn. They have a respawn timer of approximately 1 to 2 hours, and they spawn in these locations here in Bastion. Once they are spawned, you will need to ring all 5 Vespers within 5 minutes of the first Vesper being rung. After you successfully ring all the Vespers within the time frame, you will see this message in chat. Once you see that message, you will need to head to this location here in Bastion and fight all the champions of the Ascended Council. When you defeat all the champions of the Ascended Council, there is a chance that you will be rewarded with the mount from the loot cache they give after you defeat them. Next is the Battlebound Warhound. To get this mount, you need to go to the Theater of Pain in Maldraxxus. Once there, you will need to be in a group to kill one of the elites in the Theater of Pain, and they will have a small chance to drop the mount. There is a daily lockout for potentially getting the mount, and you only have a chance to get it from the first elite you kill. This mount is lootable in a raid group. Next is the Lurid Bloodtusk and Colossal Slaughtherclaw. To get these mounts, you must become exalted with the Undying Army in Maldraxxus. To gain reputation with them, you can do the world quests in the Maldraxxus zone, get the calling and challenge quests from your Covenant's hub that have quests in Maldraxxus, you can do the side quests of the zone, or complete the weekly quest in Oribos and pick the Undying rep as a quest reward. Once exalted, you can speak to Dar Vadish located here in Oribos to purchase the Lurid Bloodtusk. And for the Colossal Slaughtherclaw, you must earn supplies of the Undying Army from the Paragon Reputation, which means you will have to earn 10,000 post-exalted reputation with them. When you get the supplies of the Undying Army, it will have a small chance to drop the Colossal Slaughtherclaw. Next is the Callow Flayedwing. To get this mount, you will need to farm for the Blight Touched Egg. To obtain the Blight Touched Egg, you will need to kill the mobs listed here on the screen. They are all in Maldraxxus. The best spot to farm for this egg is at this location here in Maldraxxus. After a couple hours of farming, you should get the egg. Once you get the egg, you will have to wait 5 days for it to hatch, and once it is hatched, you should get the mount. Next is Marrowfang. To get this mount, you will need to complete the Necrotic Wake dungeon on Mythic 0 or Mythic Plus difficulty. On Mythic 0 difficulty, it will have a small chance to drop from the last boss in the dungeon. On Mythic Plus difficulty, it will have a small chance to drop from the challenger's cache at the end of the dungeon. Next is the Slime Serpent. This mount is still a mystery on how to obtain, but we know that it comes from the Plaguefall dungeon. The WoW Secret Finding Discord is actively trying to figure out how to obtain the mount, however zero progress has been made. Once the secret is figured out on how to get this mount, I will make a video about it. Next is Gorespine. This mount has a low chance to drop from the rare Narissa Heartless. Narissa has approximately a 40-minute respawn timer and spawns in this location here in Maldraxxus. You get only 1 chance per day at the mount. Next is the Blisterback Bloodtusk. This mount has a small chance to drop from the rare Warbringer Malkarok. Warbringer has approximately a 20-minute respawn timer and spawns in this location here in Maldraxxus. You get only one chance per day at the mount. Next is the Hulking Deathroc. This mount has a low chance to drop off the Violet Mistake. The Violet Mistake needs to be summoned, and to summon him you will first need to go to the Pool of Monstrosities in Maldraxxus. Once you are there, you or your group will need to get 15 Vicious Oil, which represent the red from the Burning Extract and Colossal Plasma mobs, and 15 Metabic Goo, which represents blue from the Prodigious Animate and Colossal Goo, and put them into the Pool of Monstrosities. This pool is shared with everyone in the zone, so if anyone puts in a different combination of colors into the pool, it will summon a different rare and you will have to start from scratch to summon the Violet Mistake again. Next are the bulbous, infested, and pestilent Necrorays. These mounts come from the Oozing Necroray egg. You have a small chance to get the Oozing Necroray eggs by completing the calling quest for Maldraxxus from your Covenant's hub that rewards the Tribute of the Ambitious or the Tribute of the Duty Bound. When you get an egg, it will hatch in 5 days and it will be one of the 3 Necrorays that hatch from the egg. Next are the Pale Acid Maw, Silver-Tipped Dreadwing, Gruesome Flayedwing, and Dauntless Duskrunner. These mounts are all obtainable through Covenant features such as the Ember Court for Venthyr, Queen's Conservatory for Nightfey, Path of Ascension for Kyrian, and Abomination Factory for Necrolord. All these mounts are obtainable by all Covenants. However, depending on the Covenant you are, the specific directions to get each of them can vary. So in the video's description, I have provided what is needed from each Covenant to get each specific mount. Next are achievement mounts. You get the Voracious Gorger from completing the Glory of the Shadowlands Hero achievement. You get the Rampart Screecher from completing the Glory of the Nathia Raider achievement. You get the Corridor Creeper by completing the Twisting Corridor Lair 8 achievement. And finally, you get the Sin Touch Deathwalker by completing the Shadowlands Keystone Master Season 1 achievement by timing all the Shadowlands dungeons on Mythic plus 15 or higher. It would take too long to explain how to complete the Glory of the Shadowlands Hero achievement and Glory of the Nathia Raider achievement, so I'll be making videos on all the Glory achievements at a later time. And those are all the mounts in this guide. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe as this will really help out the channel. I also like to stream on Twitch. If you would like to come give me a follow, I have provided a link down in the description.